I'm going to try something different today. I am going to do this video with absolutely no show notes. You know, I've been called a lot of things in my life. It's been a long life. I was going to say a long, productive life, but then some of you guys would know I'm lying to you. Anyhow, the last time I was called a punk, I can't remember. But no kidding. In a comment on the Flatwater site, I'm going to connect to his channel this morning and let you watch the video that covers all the aspects of nuclear nonsense. Eric Dubay, the Hiroshima, the Nagasaki, the photos, the camera problems. And I'm going to let you guys look at what I've been analyzing for the last couple of days. And I'm going to drop the science so much, only because I can hear some of my subs out there going, oh, Jesus, more of this? I mean, who gives a shit? Hey, Punky, is that kind of your mindset right now? You getting bored of my videos? Because I see the viewership is kind of dropping off. All right, anyhow, people, hang with me because I'm just getting started on Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021, or so they'd have us believe. Do something different here today. I'm going to go over here to this link below channel. Nukes are fake, no Cold War, put on by Flatwater. Keep in mind, my 217 subs as of this morning was 18 yesterday, versus his 102,000 subscribers. And that was a year ago. Okay, so Flatwater put out a lot of good information. This really bothers me to make this video. Here's his, it'll be linked below. Nukes are fake, no Cold War. I'm going to just read you his description of this video. Fear controls people. Okay, granted, I couldn't agree more. Nukes aren't real, ... So there's no need to be afraid of them or a mutually assured destruction nuclear fallout. Couldn't agree more, except with the first part. Nukes are real, but yet, in spite of that, there's no need to be afraid of them or mutually assured destruction nuclear fallout. The reason I say that is if you keep it in mind, nuclear weapons are chemical weapons. They exist on the same periodic table of the elements as the conventional weapon constituent elements. Not double talk here, people. Nuclear weapons do what conventional weapons do. They only do it better, more efficiently, and in smaller packages. What is the problem? I don't get it. Continuing. The Jesuits came out of their hiding place in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, Japan, saying they hadn't been affected by radiation. Why pick on the Jesuits? Many people were not affected by the lingering effects of radiation. Father Hubert F. Schipper, a German Jesuit, and several others who survived the atomic bomb Little Boy dropped in Hiroshima, walked out of their basement bomb shelter and attributed their survival to Mother Mary. You can attribute it to the man in the moon for all I care. Somehow they knew when the firebombing would begin. Firebombing, huh? So they were prepared in a bomb shelter. Why didn't they develop radiation sickness? Because radiation sickness, after effects, lingering effects of nuclear weapons is pure bullshit. They interviewed in this video and asked about it. But my best guess, okay, I appreciate your honesty here because you've been guessing a lot, buddy, is they hadn't been briefed on that yet and didn't know they were supposed to say that about it yet. So it didn't affect them, just like astronaut Edgar Mitchell said about the high belts of radiation they would have gone through in space and the many bans on return trips to and from the moon. Couldn't agree more with the Edgar Mitchell part. Yeah, I saw his interview. Hey, what about the Van Allen bells? Oh, did we go through them? Well, we didn't notice a thing. Yep, I saw it. You know, see how this guy mixes truth with pure falsehoods to support a false position. That's too bad. You understand their science. It's like when Wile E. Coyote goes off a cliff, but doesn't start to fall until he realizes he's gone up. Sarcastic in parentheses. After the firebombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which were obviously firebombings, not nukes, the photos of supposed Hiroshima detonation is obviously just two fire plumes lined up. This guy's expertise in cameraology is stunning. The ideas of things like the Cold War, nuclear proliferation, and large-scale nuclear bombs are permanent, uncontrollable, because they're out of the public's control, and unfathomable weapons. Yeah, we've been told all that bullshit. These fear devices are a fraud created by the powers that be to have a constant stick to use in the stick and carrot routine. Totally agree. The public is told and believes that the USA and Russia are enemies, but they fake space together. And the USSR was founded and funded by the Wall Street, just as one example. Next, China is part of communism worldwide under the same people. Totally agree. No argument there. Yep, the fake boogeyman, you always got to have one. If it isn't Russia in the Cold War, then we got to have the war on terrorists, the war on drugs. I know it. Yep, No, so many distractions to keep the people from not thinking. Couldn't agree more, buddy. So, many think that the U.S. and China, or China and Russia, or India and Pakistan, or fill in the blanks, could go full-scale nuclear war and trigger Armageddon. Yep, I'm sure a lot of people fear that. Many fear they could somehow destroy the entire Earth, or irradiate the Earth and destroy modern society. Yeah, that's nuclear fear porn. Yes, nuclear scare scam. Radiation scams. Got it. Can't argue with you one bit. They think these countries hate each other and could attack at any moment. Pretty scary stuff. In reality, behind the scenes, all the superpowers and all the nations are controlled by one organization. If you read your history, you'll know which group has owned all countries for hundreds of years. You know, you get a little iffy here when you just attribute everything and paint with a broad brush to one. Some of my subs from day one will know I always say, behind every tree I see three. I see a Mason, I see a Jesuit, and I see a Murray. Okay, now this guy's got it all down to one. I'll tell you what you do. Tell me who you can't criticize and fear censorship from, and I'll tell you who runs the world, buddy. I don't know why you're picking so much just exclusively on the Jesuits. They use mind control. Yes, they certainly do. Rewrite history. Yes, they certainly have. And geography. Most definitely. And use depopulation to help cover their tracks. Again, I couldn't agree more with this guy. The U.S. government's nuclear propaganda movies, which cemented fake nukes in the mind of the world, were all made at a place called Lookout Mountain Labs atop Laurel Canyon, L.A., where the Manson murders happened and where all the hippies of rock and roll in the 60s came from. This guy's going to kind of go out here a little bit. All of their parents were military intelligence, and the whole hippie music scene and the Manson Tate LaBanca murders and the drug use of the hippie generation was all run by the military to discredit the anti-war movement. You know, that was probably one big valid reason. That's not the only one. The CIA had the largest movie production facility in the world, located in Laurel Canyon, called the Lookout Mountain Laboratory. It was used by the War Department until the 50s. Dave McGowan's book, Weird Scenes from the Canyon, covers this in depth, along with the entire hippie movement being created by the CIA and Tavistock, very familiar with the Tavistock Institute, for controlled opposition. Yep, they do it to us all the time. Okay, now, under his video, because I have no axe to grind with this guy, even though he calls me a punk, it's amazing. I commented, it says a day ago, Galen Windsor and I, among others, worked as nuclear power advocates in North Dakota back in the early 90s. We advocated small, mass-produced, proven design reactors similar to what the Navy uses. Again, I've told you this in previous videos. They can use it, become totally energy independent, but we can't. That's bullshit. In fact, we wanted to acquire the decommissioned center sections of submarines, and Navy was paying, back then, per each, $50 million to scuttle, simply because the reactors had outlived their deep-sea diving usefulness. And I wrote abilities here. And we were going to deploy said reactors in communities, making them energy independent. Hey, plus we're going to take the $50 million. Freeing from the federal power intertie with huge line losses and all the enslaving kilowatt-hour meters. In short, electricity too cheap to meter, marketed like cable TV, so much a month, use all you want, businesses would get cheaper. I encourage you to read these comments, people, when you view the linked video. I'm subbed to this channel, but to use Galen as, I'm continuing my comment, I'm subbed to this channel, but to use Galen as Eric Dubai's insane position, nuclear weapons don't exist, is fraud. Galen worked on weapons at Hanford and creating the Pu-239, plutonium isotope 239, from correctly managed reactors used in weapons. Yes, we do not live on a spinning wet ball rocket, but no nukes is a hoax here. As Galen would often say, people don't know enough chemistry, stay out of trouble. Sorry, you are guilty as charged. I'm doing a series on my channel. You are invited to learn. Okay, now I figured a guy with a channel of 100,000 subs isn't ever going to see this, because this video was done about a year ago. I get a notice in my email, hey, I got a hearted comment. A hearted comment usually means this guy, Flatwater, likes your video. But then I do go back, and I was going to reply, and I see he also put in a written response from Flatwater 1 day ago. Fair enough. I do understand the principles of nuclear fission and fusion. Thank you very kindly. Let me interrupt here. Fusion is the opposite of fission and doesn't exist. The word should be confusion. Thank you very kindly, friend. Okay, continuing. That's the strongest reason for me to think they're not real. That's a stunning statement. A runaway reaction? Why would anybody bring that up? Also, if they were real, they would have been used at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which is clearly proven untrue here. He's talking about this video. And I say, absolutely not. I saw zero proof for that, friend. Next, why fake thousands? I'm assuming thousands of nuclear scare scam videos at Lookout Mountain. I'm ex-military. So what, man? Nice try, punk. Now there it is. There's the offensive line. Nice try, punk. I can spot you intel guy says a mile off. Good day to you. Alright, like I said, I've been called a lot of things. Punk, you know, I'm old enough to shrug that one off, but an intel guy, you're shitting me. So I respond, 20 hours ago it says, punk, I'll be 66 very soon. Why the attitude? Intel guy, WTF, what is your problem? I've done 2 short parts on my 218 sub channel. Did you watch any? Why not? If Eric, I'm talking about Eric Dubay, can sway you with his fantasy, doesn't fairness require I get a chance? Pray about it, friend. I'm certainly not your enemy. That ends the correspondence. He has not responded back. Now, listen, you're calling me an intel guy, and I see today now I've got 217 subs, so I lost one. An intel guy, and you're running a channel with this nuclear nonsense on it, and you've got 100,000, 102,000 subs? What would be the worst failed intel operation in the world other than Dave Corum, your friendly, flexible, fluid, most humble messenger, is an intel guy, and after 2 years I've got, what, 217 subs? Come on, people, that's a failure for intelligence operation. Unlimited funding, unlimited assets. I'd have the coolest videos, because they've got the technological people to create the coolest videos. My videos are shitty in comparison. I do use as a defense, come on, Paul Harvey raised to the top of the cream of the crop by being a radio commentator. I mean, you didn't get to see him all the time. You don't need to see me. You don't need to attack or see the messenger. Deal with the message. So there you have it. You know, I was going to go into a little more technology, a little more science. We could have covered the electromagnetic force spectrum, EMF. But you know what? I think my subs are getting bored with the topic. I think the issue has been fairly covered. If you need information, you're always free to email me at outpost, one word, OUTPOST, at midco, MIDCO.net. Punk. I mean, it's amazing. Ran a little long here, people. But I just thought I'd try a little different approach to this. And, you know, I agree with a lot of what this guy says. Flatwater's put out a lot of good information. He's a prolific video creator. What's his effing problem? I don't know. I'll let you know if he responds. Otherwise, I think it's time to move on to a different but related topic. I'll try to get that done tomorrow. Anyhow, people, running along, stuff to do. Haven't even got the dogs run yet.